Hi everyone. If you have been working on cracking the MAANG interviews recently and you have been hitting on all the mediums and hard problems and trying still figuring out how to crack the MAANG interviews, this video can be very helpful for you because I have been there and I recently had an interview with Meta, and prior to the interview is when I was preparing, I figured out that I came across a lot of aspects to solving a problem that I had felt were not that important but very crucial. So it's not that we don't know how to code, it's that art of talking through thinking. It's the approach that really matters. So I'm going to explain each and everything. For the preparation part, I was already familiar with LeetCode questions. I would highly recommend to solve the company tag last 30-day questions. They are very helpful. Now let's talk about the initial call. It was a recruiter call. They set up a call to talk about my experience, career goals, what I'm looking for, if I'm open to relocate. This particular call went really smooth. So based on my availability, they actually set up a screening round. Again, a tip here: if you need time to prepare, then you can schedule the screening round in 2 to 3 months. I was running out of time and I had to schedule within 2 weeks. So, the screening round is typically the first round with a senior software engineer. The standard practice is to solve two questions in 40 minutes. And one of them was a classic LeetCode problem that I got, and the other one I had never seen before. So, again, have an eye on LeetCode discussions on previously asked questions about people's experiences. Some questions are discussed there too. So the LeetCode problem that was asked to me was diameter of a binary tree. This sounds easy, right? So now here's what usually happens when we hear something like this. This is the mistake most of us make, myself included. The moment we hear the question, we dive straight into the code. The faster we type, the better we are. But actually, in reality, this is the wrong way to start. That's actually the fastest way to get rejected. What you really need to do is slow down and become Sherlock Holmes. You should start interrogating the problem. Since I had taken a lot of mock interviews and spoken to a lot of people working in MAANG companies, I already knew what their expectations was. So here it goes. The first step is to dry run and align with the interviewer. Take an example and instead of rushing into the code, go through the technique. And for example, I'm going to give a example here and run through. So this is a binary tree example, like 2 1 3. So the longest path between two nodes here is 2. The length is actually 2. So what you can do is you can take an example and dry run with the interviewer and also confirm the output with the interviewer, like, is this a kind of output you're looking for? And also, just to confirm, are we treating the leaf node height as 0 or 1? Ask more questions, like, if can the input be null? If the input is null, then what is the expected return value? So are we measuring the diameter as number of nodes or edges? What are we trying to optimize here? Is it the memory we are trying to optimize the memory, or we are trying to optimize the runtime complexity? So when you ask these questions, what happens is you get more clarity with your approach. Because this particular problem, the way I had solved, I had used hash map. So there is a memory constraint there. So once you are thorough with your approach, then you speak like you're teaching a junior developer. Something like, oh, so I'll do a post order traversal to get the left and the right height of each node, and I will look up to the height from each node from the map tree. So something like this. What this shows to the interviewer is that you understood the problem first. You didn't jump into the coding part. You knew how to track the problem, and the most important part, you know how to communicate your thought process really clearly. Now go ahead and write a really clean code. Again, the variables should be really relevant, and very important point, talk while you're coding loud and clear. I was not talking for like maybe like 4 5 minutes, then I started talking clearly. So, my final thought is that these interviews are actually about not your speed, not memorized patterns, not how many lead code questions you solved, but it's just about how you think, how you communicate, and how well you adapt. So, this is what I wanted to share with you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions, do drop some comments and I will get back to you. Thank you.